Today I am trying to pretty up this echeveria here at the front, which has a beautiful rosette at the top, but it's starting to look pretty funky at the bottom. And you can tell by these leaves bending down that they're not getting enough sun because the top is now blocking it. So really it's just stretched out. It's just stretched out too much. And you can see that it's got a couple of babies, but this is probably the biggest baby here. So what I want to do is chop it and prop it and hopefully have this baby look a little bit prettier on the top. Some people do like them stretched out like this. I don't like the top like that. So that's what we're gonna do. So really you need to decide kind of where you want to cut, and I do want to take it right around where this baby's coming off. So I'm going to want to remove all of the leaves really around it. So, you know, just take the leaves, grab them, give them a good twist. You want them to come off at the base. That would be ideal. Making sure it's, and of course that one didn't. Making sure it's pretty well watered beforehand usually does help with that. But yeah, just back and forth. That one's a better one. And I'm gonna lay those on a new prop tray. It's looking pretty good. I think I might get these down here. At least this one. Okay. Oh, this one's falling off, so we'll take that one too. And scoot these ones over. All right. So you can see we've opened up a nice place to cut there. And you can see the other little baby that was trying to poke through here. So maybe that can survive now. And then we're just gonna let this one live and see what happens to that. So I'm just gonna cut right above where that one is growing from. So that line right there. So we got that. We will add some cinnamon to the end to help that callus off. And I'm also going to put some here. This one's a little dry. I'm going to take that one off too. So you can see that this one wasn't getting enough sun anyway. So hopefully, as this one grows out, it's gonna grow over the top and make that look nicer. And then we can just make a little hole for this one in here. And have this very pretty one start growing. Here is a 3-week update of the echeveria that we separated. So first I'll show you the one that is growing just fine. Probably got a little warmer, so I probably could have watered it a little bit more. Going just fine here. I could take off these lower leaves, and I probably will at some point, but for now, it's growing just fine. And it also has some babies growing here. So we got a couple of babies that will be getting bigger, and they'll probably hide those bottom leaves too. And we do have evidence of another leaf growing in there. So we've got some good growth on the original. And again, it looks pretty from this angle, I think, and it's got another baby coming out here. So this one probably in no time will be, filling up this portion of the plant again. And then we can look at this one. I wanted to check for root growth today. You never really need to pull it out and check, but just for the purposes of this video, wow, it's doing great. So look at all those roots. So yeah, if you're ever worried about like beheading an echeveria, just think about all those roots. That's beautiful. So obviously it's doing great. I am going to water it. I was thinking it probably had some roots and I needed to water it, but I did want to check first. So that's looking awesome. And then we are starting to see some of these leaves beginning to propagate. So that one's probably the one where it's largest. We do have a little bit of roots on that one right there. And yeah, a little bit starting, but this one's probably the furthest along. So again, just being patient here and waiting is key. And again, probably a lot of beautiful new plants after beheading. And here we are, about another 2 weeks out, and we see much more growth on the echeveria leaves that we pulled off. Most of them have some growth, roots, and also little babies happening. And then the plant itself, which we already know has roots. I just want to show you the root growth at about the 5-week mark. So I'll just brush it off so you can see a little bit better. So we do see really good roots on this. If you wanted to transfer this to the ground or a bigger bowl, that probably would be a good idea. Plus, then you could water it a little more easily. I was trying to avoid the leaves when I was watering and probably need to water it a little more since it has those dry leaves. And then this one I think looks great. I was hoping that the part that I had cut off would be hidden, and already just over a month, that part is hidden by the baby plant that grew more because now it's getting more sun, and these other babies that are growing off the stem. So obviously you can see this is one of the echeveria that propagates easily off the stem, especially when you pull the leaves off. And at some point I'm going to have to do the same process again. And if you are in the same situation, I always try to take off the largest part of the plant that has the best likelihood of surviving, and then giving the babies the chance to stay on the original plant stem so that they can succeed.
Subscribe to learn more with us.